Can we see it? Yeah, we can. That's good. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm PanCake. This is BrokenSword 1. Shadow of the Templars. We're going to start a new one. Why not?
Paris. City of love, romance, and dreams. So they say. I used to say it too. But ever since that day, the day of the murder, I've always associated my beloved Paris with death. I was at home having a bath when my editor called.
Collard, get your ass over to the Palais Royal now. You got an interview. With Pierre Carchon. Yes, the Pierre Carchon. No photos, so leave your gear at home. He asked for you personally. Don't ask me why. Anyhow, this could be big, so if he makes a pass, don't forget. Just smile, say yes, and keep taking notes.
So charming and so very apt. Pierre Carchon was a media king, a national hero, and one of the most infamous adulterers in Europe. He and his wife Imelda were just one step down from royalty. Whoa, I hate mimes, but unless you humor them, they don't go away. Here I was, the palace of the Media King and the Ice Queen. I pressed the doorbell and set in motion a chain of events which would change my life forever.
Yes? What is it?
Madame, my name is Nico Collard. I'm here to see Monsieur Carchon.
Come up, we're on the first floor.
Madame Carchon, it's a pleasure to meet you.
Yes, I'm sure.
The Ice Queen was certainly living up to her reputation. Will you be staying for the interview?
Mademoiselle, I know little of my husband's business affairs, and I care even less. I certainly have no intention of watching him pore over yet another pretty little journalist.
Pretty? You're too kind, madame.
Ah, the talented and very beautiful Mademoiselle Collard. Such a pleasure to meet you at last.
Monsieur Carchon, I am honored.
Oh, I'm sure you are.
Call me Pierre, please. But I do not flatter you idly. I was a friend of your father. He was a great man.
My father, he never mentioned.
He and I were very close. And then his death. So tragic. I must... Imelda, your damned cat's in my study again. Another Ming vase, I suppose. Excuse me for one moment, my dear girl.
You journalists are getting younger each year.
Perhaps it's the rest of the world getting older, madame. That was no cat.
My God, what? Monsieur Carchon! He's dead. I must call the police. You'd better stay here.
There was a man. It was the mime. Do you think he...
Well, I believe we can rule out suicide, don't you?
No wonder they called her the Ice Queen. She would have been top of my list of suspects if I hadn't seen the attacker myself. And if I hadn't come across a couple of murders just like this already. One of the most important men in Europe murdered. And here was I, Nico Coulard, alone at the scene of the crime. Should I wait for the cops? Or start my own investigation? It was a no-brainer.
Yeah. Right. Let's figure out what we're doing. Let's check him out straight away.
Mimes and guns don't usually go together, but I had an idea that this was no ordinary mime. I'd come across this murderer before, and written about him. The costume killer, at least that's what I'd called him. It was one of my hair clips. My favorite, in fact. It must have fallen when I was knocked down. Some people hate searching corpses for clues. Me, I'm okay with it. Reminds me of an old boyfriend.
Yes, I have played this before, but we didn't get that far.
In his pocket, I found a ticket stamped Bateau de la Conciergerie. Taking the ticket meant I tampered with the evidence. There was no going back now. Carchon had been shot. I closed his eyes. It was the least I could do for the poor fellow.
Pardon me.
A small round piece of glass had been cut out of the pane. This was a professional job.
That's locked, if I remember rightly. I think that's pretty much all we can do now. We can always go back in if we need to.
The police could turn up at any minute. Somewhere there were clues to the murder, and I needed to find them.
I've played this before, so I'll do as much as I can remember.
It was a tube of acrylic paint. French ultramarine.
If I remember rightly, she...
Just the colour I was after for my bathroom.
I'm sorry, I have to go. Someone is...
Young lady, what are you doing? Oh, this paint. It's my favourite colour.
For God's sake, keep the damn stuff.
Alright, let's go and have a look at this.
I reckoned that cloth might just turn out to be useful.
Infantry.
Aha! Nico, you are just so damn good at this stuff. Instead of comforting Imelda, I was ransacking her flat. Why? Because there was something going on here, and I had to get answers before the cops arrived. And hey, she'd been rude to me, so she had it coming.
What's this?
A magnificent antique table. The door was locked.
Right, we need to get into the somewhere.
Excuse me, madame.
Yes?
I am so sorry for your loss, madame.
No, you're not. You're a journalist. Journalists don't feel sorry.
Not true.
We shall see.
Why did your husband send for me? What did he want to discuss?
I have no idea. His business was his business.
He never told you anything.
No, and frankly, I preferred it that way.
How did your husband know my father?
I have no idea.
You didn't know him? Thierry Coulard?
Pierre knew a lot of people I didn't know, most of them women.
Why would a mime want to kill your husband?
Pierre had plenty of enemies. Half the husbands in Paris for a start. This is quite a scoop for you. I suppose you're already inventing the headlines.
Just because I am a journalist.
Don't patronize me. You're all cut from the same cloth. Do you have any moral sense at all?
Yeah?
Yes. That's why I do this job.
You do it to see your name in print.
As if my editor gets the byline, I just do the work.
Well, don't expect my sympathy.
The police will be here soon, madame. Is there anybody you would like me to contact? Family, friends?
No. I have no family. Pierre and I were... He was all I had, really. Not much, was it? The dutiful wife. That was my role. He never talked, never let me in.
I know one thing, madame.
What?
If you want to find out who killed your husband, then you let me do the job, not the police.
Why? How do I know I can trust you?
Your husband invited me here today because he needed me. I think he knew somebody wanted to kill him, and he knew I could help.
I doubt it was your database he was after.
You're wrong. I was onto his killers already, I am sure of it. Please, you owe it to him.
I don't know.
All I need is a few more minutes to look around before the police come.
You really do have a moral sense, don't you? I trust so few people. And perhaps Pierre really did think that you could help. Of course it wouldn't have stopped him seducing you too. Here, take this. It's the key to the drawing room next to the library at the end of the hall. It was Pierre's room. I rarely went in there. I couldn't. I was too scared of what I might find.
Thank you. I promise you won't regret this. The door was locked.
Possibly locked. You've not unlocked it yet.
Now we were getting somewhere. The painting showed the Cachons together, in love. As the poet said, the past is a different country. Or did I read that in a fortune cookie? There was the very faintest of clicks. Behind the picture was a safe. In the safe was some kind of artifact. There were strange symbols on its surface. It looked like the printer's blocks I'd made at art school. If there was one thing I'd learned about symbols, they are always important. But these symbols scratched into stone were impossible to read. I needed to find a way of printing them. At least the stone was round. But what could I use for ink?
What could we use for
And what
ink?
could I print on? Sure, I was stealing, but I knew Imelda didn't know about the artifact, and Cachon was past caring. As expected, the desk was yet another priceless antique. Yawn. The blotter and in tray had clearly been placed with mathematical precision. My heart skipped a beat. It was a carved elephant. But not just any carved elephant. It had been made by my father. I knew for certain because in my apartment I had its exact twin, carved into a box he had made. So Cachon had known my father. They really must have been friends. I decided to take the carved elephant. It clearly meant nothing to Imelda. I'd spread blue paint over the bottom of the tray. It was ruined. I was a very bad girl, but also quite a clever one. I rolled the artifact in the paint until it was completely coated. Genius! The roller and the paint worked just as I planned, but what did it say? It was some kind of coded message. It read, sub judice. I may not have learned a lot as a journalist, but that was a term I knew well. It means a legal case that is before the courts. Below it was a sequence of letters that made no sense. I suddenly realized there was a connection between the boat ticket and
No,
the coded
the one with
message.
cards is
The boat
Rains.
ticket was stamped Bateau de la Conciergerie. The conciergerie on the Ile de la Cité, by the river, house the ancient law codes. So, sub judice could in this case mean literally under the law codes, below the conciergerie. I was pretty sure I'd found all I could here. And besides, all this opulence was making me pine for my regular life of poverty. This was a huge story. It was also one heck of a puzzle with a lot of pieces missing. But I was going to crack it. And if I could just remember the name of that fancy prize you get for being an ace journalist, I was definitely going to win it this time. Locked. Not surprising, really.
Do we need to speak to this woman again? I think.
Did you find anything useful?
This carving, do you know anything about it?
It was Pierre's. What does the statue have to do with...
Please, I need to know.
He was given it by a friend, something to do with Africa.
He never explained any more.
No, but I think it was important to him, always on display. Why?
It was carved by my father.
Oh, I see. I didn't know.
Imelda, I will do everything I can to find the killer.
Thank you, my dear.
And if the police ask...
Don't worry. You were never here.
Sub judice was the key. I was going to have to find a way under the conciergerie. I decided to head straight for the quayside on the Ile de la Cité. If there was a way of getting under the conciergerie, it would have to be from there. Canchon wasn't the type for messing about on the river. He was up to something down here. Something that got him killed. The cross looked familiar. I'd seen it before. It was embroidered on the lace cloth I'd picked up at Canchon's apartment. I knew I was on the right track. I tried pushing the fence, but it wouldn't move. A strange pair of locks stopped the latches from releasing the gate.
Right, no, I've locked it off. That needs to be moved out of the way. No, that won't work. This needs to come down.
Yes! One down, one to go.
Let's hope this one's a bit easier. Maybe not.
Nothing like a good convent education for honing your lockpicking skills.
You unlock it and it just falls over. It's hilarious.
For a room full of junk, that was one very... This place was definitely fishy. In more ways than one. Oops. An old shell case. I wondered what that was doing there. No handle, nothing obvious. But there had to be a way to open it. The words sinister and Dexter were carved on either side. Now any good convent girl like me knows the old Roman for left, right, left, right. But what did it mean here? Mystery solved. Carchon's stone cylinder slotted into the hole with a satisfying click.
So I think it goes left.
A satisfying click told me I turned it to the right position. It felt like tumblers in a safe. Another click. Another step closer. I love the sound of locks clicking open.
Actually, wait a minute. Can I not pick that up? Remove the cylinder. Actually, wait a minute.
Oh my god! The slab... With nothing to hold it up, the cross dropped back down again. Lifting the cross closed the entrance door. The stone slab had flattened one end of the shell case.
Is it... I can't remember you do this now. Do you put that, the shell case in first?
The stone cross was propped up. Now I was getting somewhere.
And then do you put that in there?
The artifact slotted into the hole perfectly. Behind the old walls, I could hear some kind of mechanism groaning into life, but whatever had been triggered had now jammed.
So now we get that.
I removed the shell case. The crust didn't drop back down. Some kind of mechanism was holding it up. Another good use for a shell case. Another secret room. Somebody had something to hide. But was it what I was looking for?
Oh, I can't remember how to do this bit.
Wow. Through the darkness, I could see that this was a stateroom. But for what purpose? And how did it tie in with Carchon?
I think we have to put lights on somewhere. I think it's something to do with this.
Amazing. It was pretty clear from the lack of dust that someone had been working very recently at this desk. The dregs at the bottom of the mug hadn't dried out or gone moldy. It wasn't more than a day old. Oh my God! The sheet was a printout with my personal information. Everything from my favorite food to my waist size. They were right about chocolate. Come on, guys, I'm a size 10. There was even a picture of me, taken with a telephoto lens. Carchon wouldn't have taken these pictures himself. This was big. And organized. I was part of it. And people were getting murdered.
Terrifying.
This was the article I'd written about the costume killer. My suspicions were right. Carchon had cut it out. 2 businessmen had been killed. One in Italy, one in Japan. In each case, the killer had worn a costume. A penguin, and then a snowman. But that wasn't the only link between the 2 murders. Both the victims had been big media do-gooders, and I proved they were just the opposite. So, how did they fit in with Carchon? My articles are...
No, it's not the same thing.
Inside the drawer, I found a note written in some kind of code.
What do you mean? Oh shit! This is what I forgot about. Yeah, this is hard work. This is like a dick. See if I can remember. I think, and that one E. That's not how you spell PR, is it? How do you spell PR? As in the French PR? I remember that. I remember what that is. P-I... Oh, yeah, so I've got the E and the R the wrong way around. Pyre. Let's do this, because I remember that being full. No, 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 no. Full. Let me just do that. Yeah, it is. I got the E's and the R's the wrong way around. I'm not French, alright? Full report. Honestly, this was a pain in the arse. First time I did this, I got the majority of it done, and it took me ages. That's definitely going to be an A. Once you know a few of the words, then you can get there. But something is too, I don't know, urgent. Something is too is that going to be S? See if it fits. Where's that? Am I blind? Where's the lambda looking thing? There it is. It is, but this, yeah, but this is too urgent to wait. I know, and somebody. This is, I don't know. This is not coincidental. Indeed, it seems. It seems that all of us who came together in saw something are in danger. Take care. In where? Oh, it's July, isn't it? Yamada. What's this? I think it's Z. Take great care. Is it Z? X. Is it a kiss?
I have decrypted the note. It read, Pierre, full report to follow. But this is too urgent to wait. Arno and Yamada
Nice one,
both dead.
Manchibu.
This is not a coincidence. Indeed, it seems that all of us who came together in July are in danger. Take great care. X. I wasn't the only one to make the connection between the costume killer murders. I'd been right all along. That was why he had asked to meet me. But what did I know that he didn't?
Oh, but you got it. What do I do now? I don't know what to do now.
When I was a little girl, Papa used to take me on the bateau mouche as a treat. I had decrypted the note. It read, Pierre, this take I wasn't. I'd been right all along. That was why he had asked to meet me. But what did I know that he didn't? Damn, don't you just hate it when that happens? A photo, long lost, had fallen down the back of the drawer. It was very old, but there was no mistaking the guy in the foreground. Carchon. Behind him were soldiers, a burning village, and a corpse. The photograph was cropped on the right-hand side. Somebody else in the picture obviously didn't want to be in it anymore. I wasn't surprised. This was Africa in the 60s. An uprising was being brutally suppressed. And here was Mr. Media himself, Carchon, doing the suppressing. The photograph was not just powerful evidence. It was also my ticket to one explosive story. I had enough for a story, an amazing story that was going to make my reputation and blow Carchon's to pieces. I needed to get home fast and start typing.
Oh, really? Derby.
Bonsoir, Collard.
Nico, it's Ronnie.
Hey, Ronnie, you cracked open the champagne yet?
Are you crazy?
What's wrong? Wait a minute. You didn't print it, did you?
Of course I didn't print.
That's the best piece I've written.
The last, as far as I'm concerned.
It's important.
It's suicidal. You can't
Cut
destroy
yourself
a
under your
national
nail.
hero.
My
He
God.
deserved it.
His corpse isn't even cold.
Ronnie, 2 hours ago I told you what I'd found. You loved it. You begged me to write it up immediately.
2 hours is a long time in newspapers, Nico.
Someone's got to you, haven't they?
Listen up, Nicole, and listen good. Pierre Carchon had a lot of friends, powerful friends. For your own sake,
Forget
Getting
what
some
happened.
ice water, Penny.
you got it. End of conversation. Good night.
This should have been my big break, but I knew there was nowhere else to sell this story. If Ronnie wouldn't print it, nobody would. Bonsoir, Collard.
Mademoiselle Collard, my name is Plantard. I need to talk to you about your story. Your Pierre Carchon story.
How did you know about that?
There are people out there, madame, who will be very upset by this story.
Oh, really? Well, it's their lucky day. It's been spiked.
Yes, I know. We must meet.
We must?
I have information relating to your costume killer stories. Tomorrow morning, 8 a.m., Café de la Chandelle Verte, Rue Alain Court. I shall be wearing a grey overcoat. You must talk to no one about this.
You can't tell me what to...
Tomorrow at 8. I'll be waiting.
Oh my God.
People complain about newspaper articles all the time, but not usually before they're printed. I was beginning to feel scared. This guy, Plantard, could I trust him? Should I meet him or forget the whole business? I didn't have an answer.
You're in a bit too deep now, Collard. And now we meet the marvellous Mr. Stobart.
I'd only been in Paris for a week, but already I'd fallen in love with the city. My latest discovery was a little cafe, La Chandelle Verte. I was pretty sure the waitress was taking a shine to me. That old Stobart charm, I guess. Little did I know my reverie was about to be so rudely interrupted.
Sorry, Renji Boo. Awesomeness.
As I picked myself up, I was really angry. 1 minute I'm on vacation, the next minute some clown's blown me up. I knew right away what I was gonna do. I was gonna find that clown and bring him to justice. Because justice matters. Justice is up there with liberty.
He's got a law degree.
Equality and, fraternity. After all, that's why I'd studied law, wasn't it? Well, that and the money, of course.
The leading article referred to the visit of a Nobel Prize winner from some unpronounceable Eastern European state. The column was devoted exclusively to rumors,
sound
gossip,
quality.
and sensationalism. I noticed the writing at the foot of the page. It read, Salah Eddin, 1345. The big story was about the brutal murder of a French media magnate, shot down in cold blood. The guy oozed confidence, like a regular French statesman.
Right, do we give this woman booze or not? Probably as much as I've had right now. Oof. I'm full of curry, full of beer.
Oh, my head. Never again. How much vodka did I drink? Oh, no, don't tell me. What is your name, Sherry?
George Stobart, ma'am. You
Sherry.
look like you could use a little help.
I could use a little drink. I feel sick, dizzy, and bruised. I don't even remember the party.
Just relax and take it easy. You've been knocked out.
You don't say. What happened?
There's been an explosion. You should try not to move.
Are you a doctor?
Oh, you doctor. Yeah, we're a doctor.
No, but I used to play hospitals when I was a kid. Can you
What did I
remember
press?
anything at all?
No. I need a drink. Pour me a brandy.
Yeah, go on.
Is that straight or with ice?
Just give me the bottle with a cheat on it.
I guess a little drop won't hurt.
No worries, Penny.
That's better.
She knocked back the brandy as if it was water. I was glad I wasn't picking up the check.
Bang.
I hope the fact that the mirror was already broken meant I'd escaped the bad luck. The mirror had smashed into 1,000 pieces. Bad luck for someone. Poor guy. He was pretty mashed up.
Is that as close as we can get? Let's go and have a look at this guy.
The sight of the dead guy's staring eyes turned my knees to jelly. I tried not to meet his stare as I searched the dead man's pockets. No wallet, no papers, no credit cards. The guy's past was a blank page. I checked his pockets. Nothing.
So nothing from that. I thought there was like
The mirror had
something we could
smashed.
do. I thought there was something else we could do
Poor
with
guy.
this. It doesn't look like it, to be
He was
honest.
pretty mad.
I think that's it.
Please, hold it right there.
Whoa, don't shoot. I'm innocent. I'm an American.
Can't make up your mind, huh?
I demand to see the American consul.
Drop your weapons and get down on the ground.
Put that thing away, Sergeant Moo. I apologize, monsieur, but I cannot permit you to leave.
Am I under arrest?
Ah non, I would simply like to ask you some questions. En avant, to the café, marche. What a mess. This bombing is an outrage, is it not?
Stop that, monsieur.
Has it occurred to you that he may be dead? Moved?
Oui, monsieur. But I prefer to look on the bright side. Besides, I recall a case where the killer escaped by feigning death. However, in this case, the man is quite dead.
Examine the girl and take her statement, if you can. Et maintenant, to business. Your name, please?
George Stobart. I'm from California.
And what brings you to Paris, Monsieur Stobart?
Travel. I'm touring Europe.
You chose well. The city is most beautiful at this time of year, no?
Yeah, I guess so, apart from the bomb blasts.
Were you in the vicinity of the cafe at the time of the explosion?
Yeah, I was sitting out on the sidewalk. I was lucky I wasn't killed. The inspector passed over my remark with no reaction.
Did you see the deceased enter the cafe?
Yeah.
Yes, I did.
Was he alone?
Yeah.
And did he say anything to you?
No. He was more interested in the waitress.
Did you see anyone else in the cafe?
Yeah, there was a guy dressed as a clown. He was carrying an accordion.
An accordion? Bon. The picture is forming in my mind, and it is not a pretty one. Is the girl all right, Moo?
She'll live if she survives the hangover. She doesn't remember seeing a clown, monsieur.
That's odd, don't you think, monsieur? Who am I to believe, I wonder? Eh bien, I have heard enough.
What do you mean?
I am satisfied that you know nothing. You may leave. I hope this little incident does not spoil the rest of your vacation.
What about my personal safety? Can't you at least give me some advice?
What can I say? Stay alert and look out for suspicious characters.
And don't cross the road until the little man shows green.
Great
advice.
I honestly believe you are in no danger, monsieur. Should you remember anything of importance, please contact me. My card.
Thanks.
That is all. You may go.
There's not much to go on, monsieur.
On the surface, no. But what lurks inside the subconscious? If the door can only be opened.
Are you serious, monsieur? I thought your interest in psychic detection was purely academic.
Well, we'll look at this.
Excuse me, mademoiselle?
Hi. My name's George Stobart.
Oh, an American by the sound of it.
Yep, that's right. On vacation in Paris. Some vacation, huh?
You were here when the bomb went off?
Sure was. Sat right out in front of the cafe.
Did you notice a middle-aged man, maybe 60, with a hat and overcoat?
I couldn't believe it. She hadn't even asked how I was feeling. Yeah, he went inside just before the bomb exploded. You weren't related to him, were you?
Oh, no, nothing like that. I'm Nicole Collard from La Liberté.
What is that, some kind of nightclub?
Oh, no, it's a newspaper.
You're a reporter?
I'm a freelance photojournalist.
Say, you could interview me about the bombing. An eyewitness account. Minutes after the outrage that shook the whole of Paris. You know, real-life drama, human interest, that kind of stuff.
I'll just stick to the facts, thank you. Did you see who planted the bomb?
I know it sounds crazy, but he was dressed like a clown.
A clown? It's him again.
Who was the guy you were supposed to meet?
His name was Plantar. I didn't know him, but he called me last night. He said he had a story which would interest me. He asked me to meet him at the cafe. I guess I'll never know what he wanted to tell me.
Well, not unless you have Rosso's gift for psychic interrogation. How did Plantard get your name?
Through the newspaper, La Liberté. I'd written an article linking two unsolved murders, one in Italy, the other in Japan. The cases were remarkably similar. A wealthy victim, no apparent motive, and a costume killer. Plantard said he could supply me with more information. Somehow the clown must have known about our appointment.
Do you know a police officer called Rosso?
Rosso? Our paths have a knack of crossing. If I didn't know better, I'd say it was deliberate. Have you seen Rosso? Is he here?
He's inside, attempting to question a witness with his psychic powers.
That guy is weird.
Yeah. Have you met the clown before?
It's a long story.
I have plenty of time.
I don't.
Why won't you tell me about the clown?
Why do you want to get involved?
Because he almost killed me. Isn't that reason enough?
I guess so. Listen, I'll give you my phone number. You help me with my story, and I'll let you in on what I know. And let's get one thing straight right now. This is strictly business.
Okay, it's a deal.
I have to go develop these pictures. I'll be on some, monsieur.
Fine. I'll see you soon. Hey, you!
I thought you'd been arrested.
No, it was a misunderstanding.
When he pulled that gun, gah! I thought that was it. Those automatics pack quite a punch, you know?
He made a mistake. He thought I was a terrorist.
You? A terrorist? Ha!
He was only doing his duty, I guess. Did you see an old guy with a briefcase?
Wait, silly old coot. Do you know what he said to me? Work fascinates me, he says. I could watch it all day. Scared beat. I could have knocked his block off.
Did you recognize the old man?
No. Should I have done? Was he a celebrity?
No, but I guess he is now. His name was Plantar.
Was? He's dead then?
Yeah.
That's too bad. Now I wish I hadn't called him what I did. If only I could turn back the clock. If only I'd been more tolerant.
Regret and remorse are strange emotions. They really bring out the hammiest actors in people. Did you see a clown come by this way?
A clown? Like in a circus?
Yeah, with makeup and a big red nose.
Huh! Those guys are funny, aren't they?
Not in my experience.
I love the circus, especially the horses.
You haven't answered my question. Have you seen a clown?
You think I've got time to watch everyone who passes by? Some of us have to work for a living.
Diggy hole.
Would you like to read my newspaper?
I haven't got time to read that. Can't you see I'm busy?
You could read it on your lunch break.
10 minutes is all I get. And if my boss had his way, I wouldn't get that. He'd have me on a drip, so I didn't have to stop to eat.
Oh, take the newspaper and quit complaining.
Alright, give me a second.
Ah, look at this. Damn bleeding heart liberals. Tja! Save the dolphins. Catch them and eat them, I say. All that fuss over a bunch of fish. Nah, that's more like it. Look at the size of those. Like champagne bottle corks, no? Ah, what's this? Salah-ed-Din running in the Prix de l'Arc de Triomphe.
It's a racehorse?
A horse? A legend. Bucephalus reborn, mon ami. Like a streak of lightning she is. Do me a favor, won't you? Keep an eye on my hole. I'm off to put some money on that nag.
What about your toolbox?
Stuff it. Help yourself.
Alright, so he's buggered off. That's alright. Let's go and have a look in his bag.
I found a T-shaped tool in the box. I didn't know what it was, but it looked useful.
I don't think we don't need to use the phone yet.
The clown had fled into this alley, but there was no sign of him now. I was intrigued by Nico and what she could tell me about the explosion. I lifted the cover to reveal what smelt like the entrance to a sewer.
As I picked up the plastic ball, I realized it was intended to be worn. It was the clown's red nose.
Paris's sewers. If you ever go to Paris
Up the sodden tissue.
and you get a chance to go in the sewers,
greasy, like breakfast leftovers.
this is what they're meant to look like. They have these giant balls.
Material and unsnagged it from the spike.
They're the same diameter as this, and they roll them down to clean the sewers.
Hi there. Hold it right there, you sewer rat. I knew you'd come back, and now I've got you.
What are you talking about?
You're trespassing. Come out of there, immediately.
That's what I'm trying to do. Give me your hand.
Just come out of a sewer.
You won't catch me with tricks like that. Keep your distance, monsieur.
Okay, okay.
Now, what were you looking for?
I was looking for a clown.
Huh, ridiculous. Do you really expect me to believe that?
He planted a bomb in the cafe and blew it up.
What? The cafe? Blown up? Mon Dieu. That is awful. And you say the person responsible was dressed as a clown?
That's right. He blew up the cafe, escaped into the sewer, changed his clothes, and came up here.
Ah, mon Dieu. Then, the man I chased, do you think that man and the clown are one and the same?
Well, yes, it had crossed my mind.
Ah, that still does not explain what you are doing down the sewer. For all I know, you are in league with him.
Oh no, I'm just a tourist.
Most tourists are content with the Eiffel Tower, the Louvre, or the Pigalle. I didn't realize my waste pipes were such an attraction.
If you're into architecture, then yeah.
Perhaps you'd like to take a look at my card?
Mm-hmm. What is this? Inspector Augustin Rousseau? What does that say? Hominoid Division?
A homicide. I think the ink's smudged.
So after showing him that,
You
he
are
actually...
not a tourist.
Okay, I'm not. I lied to you. And I'm sorry.
Don't apologize, monsieur. You know, I had a feeling there was something different about you. It is your posture,
If you give him that card, he
Oh, yes.
tells you
There is
the
no
truth.
mistaking the bearing of a disciplined man. And I should know. I was in the army, you know. When I was your age, I was fighting for my life in the African desert. How can I help you, Inspector?
Hey, there's a Paris Sewers Museum. Oh. Right, tell me
about the man you apprehended.
He was a mean one, monsieur. He grabbed me in an armlock. His face suddenly next to mine. His grip was like iron. But he did not know what he was up against. Oh no. He made a big mistake when he took on one of the desert hyenas.
Yes, I get the picture. Do you know the waitress at the cafe?
You can't suspect her, surely.
Just answer the question, please.
Yes, I know her. Quite well, you could say. She came to work at the cafe 7 months ago. I look forward all week to the relief she gives me when she visits.
Really? So you'd miss her if she wasn't there?
Oh, mais oui. Who else would I find to cut my toenails?
Does the name Plantar mean anything to you?
No, it doesn't.
Was the guy you saw carrying a briefcase?
Why, yes, he was. Clutched in his arms like a baby.
That belonged to his victim.
Oh, what do you think was in it? Drugs? Stolen jewels?
I don't know. But the killer thought it was worth a man's life.
Nothing is worth that, monsieur.
Take a look at this false nose.
I don't think we need to do any of this.
That looks like a clown's nose to me.
Precisely. He must have dropped it in his panic.
Unless he wanted you to find it.
Why would he want to do that?
To put you off the scent.
Put you off the scent. He's on a bit of nose. Fantastic.
What does this tissue mean to you?
Nothing, monsieur. It's disgusting. What on earth possessed you to show it to me? Someone has emptied their nostrils into it.
Does this piece of material mean anything to you?
That is the same cloth as the jacket I found. I'd recognize that pattern anywhere.
Now, about the jacket you found. Do you have it here?
No, monsieur. One of the sleeves was badly torn, so I sent it for repair. A pity, because otherwise it was a fine piece of quality tailoring. It had the tailor's name inside on the label.
Where did you send the jacket?
I gave it to an itinerant Romani seamstress.
Just my luck. Was there anything in the jacket pockets?
Not a sou. You know what I think?
Do tell me.
He changed out of the clown suit and cunningly disguised himself as an ordinary person.
Looks like I'm up against a mastermind. What was the name on the label?
It was a foreign name. Todrick, I think.
Did you get the address?
There wasn't one, monsieur. Only a telephone number.
Well, I don't expect you to remember a phone number you've only seen once.
74 98 08 59.
You're kidding. That's his phone number?
Funny thing is,
That's it. A little trick with numbers that I learned in the desert.
I worked with a squaddy.
The technique by a Tuareg shaman.
Well, an ex-squaddy at the time.
It comes in handy at the supermarket checkout. Do I get a
He did
reward?
exactly the same thing to me.
Is its own reward.
Then I'm glad I do not rely on honesty to pay the bills.
I have to be going. Thanks to your help, the citizens of Paris can sleep a little easier tonight.
Vraiment? I was only doing my duty, monsieur. Good luck, Inspector. I hope you catch that killer soon.
So the clown had escaped into the sewer, come up into the courtyard, and then slipped back into the street here. It wasn't much, but it was more than the cops had got.
Hello? Who is this?
Hi, my name's George Stobart. You don't know me.
Correct, Mr. Stobart. I don't. What can I do for you?
Well, I'm trying to trace one of your customers. Could I maybe come over and talk to you?
No. No, that's not possible.
Oh, okay. Forget it. Listen, all I want is a name.
What are you talking about? Who are you working for?
I guess you might say I'm acting in the interests of truth and justice.
Ah, thank God. I thought you were the police.
There are innocent lives at stake, Mr. Todrick. Lives that you could save.
You're collecting for charity, yes?
No, I'm not. All I want from you is information.
Go on. I'm listening.
Plantar.
Do you know a guy called Plantar?
No, I never heard of him.
Shall I tell you what happened to Plantar? How he was killed in cold blood?
I told you, I never heard of Plantar.
I expect Plantar's a family man, don't you? In their little apartment, Madame Plantar is cooking the supper, listening for the familiar sound of her husband's key in the door. Junior is waiting for his daddy to come home from work. He can't wait to show him the merit marks he earned in school today. Only tonight, Monsieur Plantar won't be coming home.
You forgot the puppy.
Huh?
The faithful puppy dog, waiting for the sound of his master's voice.
Well, maybe they don't have a dog. What do you think?
I don't know, Plantar. I never heard of Plantar. None of this has anything to do with me.
What do you know about the clown who bombed the Café de la Chandelle Verte?
I don't have no idea what you're talking about.
You're cool, Todrick. But I think you know more than you're saying.
I don't know who you be, but sure I am you don't know what you're talking about.
Oh, this is ridiculous. Quit playing games with me, Todrick.
I tell you, I know nothing about no clown.
And they just stay on the phone together.
Thanks for nothing, Todrick.
He just rang him up and abused him, basically. Made him feel guilty for nothing. You've got a jacket of a guy who killed somebody.
Hello, Nico Coulard.
Hello? It's George.
Ah, oui.
You said to call if I could help.
Have you any news for me?
You bet. I met a witness who spoke to the clown. And I know where the killer gets his suits.
No kidding. Hey, I'm impressed.
You are? Well, it wasn't easy.
Look, why don't you come here to my apartment later this afternoon?
Fine. Where do you live?
361 Rue Jarry.
Okay, I'll come over.
I was used
Hola.
to working alone, but I had to admit it felt good with George on the case too. But there were some things I was going to have to do alone, and fast. I needed the answers to some questions. Who was the costume killer? And why did he murder Carchon? Why did Carchon ask for me to interview him? How did he know my father? And why was my editor so scared? There was some kind of secret war going on out there, but who was on which side? One thing I did know. I wasn't going to get the answers sitting at my desk.
Right, is that to sit down at your desk? Let's have a look in here. This is getting to the point where I'm like, oh, what do I do? Pardon me.
The box was carved by my father. It never had a key. The elephant on the lid was a perfect match to Carchon's. It was the beautiful elephant my father had carved. It was the drawing room key.
So we can't pick that. Can I
It
not?
was the beautiful elephant. It was the beautiful elephant my father had carved. It was a photograph of my father, the first one I ever took, with the first camera he ever bought me.
You have no messages. You have no messages.
That's hilarious.
No. No. No.
You're on your way home. All right, yeah, I get you.
There wasn't anyone that I needed to call.
What do I do? It's something to do with this. but I don't know what.
The box was carved by my father. It never had a key.
It never had a key, but I've got a funny feeling that it's something to do with this. Normally, if you interact with certain things,
Mademoiselle Collard.
Oh, hello there. Don't tell me. I'm going to meet a tall, dark man.
No, I don't think so. Why would you say that?
Oh, just a wild guess.
just gone past
Anyway,
Frank.
Your cousin's female and very pretty.
What?
Your cousin from Marseille. How could you forget her so soon? She was only in your apartment yesterday.
Ah, really?
Such a charming young girl.
Isn't she? And
Which
in
way are you
my
going then?
apartment, you say?
She let herself in, of course. She's got a key.
Suddenly, everything made sense. My apartment had been bugged. That was how Plantard knew all about my article. How did I know? Because the only cousin I have is a sweet little guy called Jean-Marc, who runs a patisserie in Le Touquet. These people were determined, which meant they were also very dangerous. I suppose she'd forgotten which apartment was mine.
Oh, Miss Collard, you're a mind reader. That's just what she said.
Oh, I bet it was. Well, I'd better be going. See what my sweet cousin's been getting up to.
Au revoir, mademoiselle.
Right, so the apartment's been bugged.
So, where had my pretty new cousin hidden her little bug, eh? I was going to have to search everywhere.
Right, okay, makes sense. Why have you gone that way? Under the table, of course. Down to Platt Bridge, up to Barnfulong. I get you. I get you. I get you. How do I do this? How do we... I don't know.
There wasn't anyone that I needed to call.
You have no messages.
I really do not know where we are going, but I pray to God that we are gonna get there. Stay with me, don't leave me where you going. I can't be left alone out of my own hair. I think I know exactly what you're thinking, cause I think I feel the same way too. Take my hand and let's do a little more walking.
It was a photograph. They hadn't placed the bug on the photo. There wasn't... The phone was the obvious place to look for a bug, but this handset hadn't been opened for years. Besides, they would have just bugged the line.
Tape, right, okay. Right, click the table.
No bug. Just a 20-year-old piece of gum.
So where then? In the footlocker. Trunk.
The box was one of the few things my father left me, but that small metal disc underneath it in the chest was a recent addition. Oh, chère cousine, you left me a little present. You shouldn't have. You don't scare me. Espèce de...
Was that the bug then?
The box...
How do we open this then?
The box was one of the few things my father left me. The elephant on the lid was a perfect match to Cochon's.
Perfect match to Cochon.
It was the beautiful elephant my father had carved. No. No.
No, not happening. Oh dear me. I can't remember what to do here. I think I need to find the key for that. Is there anyone we need to call now?
There wasn't anyone that I needed to call.
But you have to walk over to the phone to tell me that.
It was the beautiful elephant my father had carved. No. 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 No.
No.
The artifact was like an old printer's block, covered in symbols.
I can't remember what to do. What do we do? Let's go back outside. I don't think this is going to help though. I don't think there's anything else here.
Bonjour. Bonjour, mademoiselle.
Let's have a look. It's that box that we're going to have to open. It's pretty much obvious it's going to be that.
It wouldn't be sensible to let her know about Cochon. What do you think of this carving?
It's nice, but I wouldn't flash it around this neighborhood.
The woman who claimed to be my cousin. Could you describe her again?
Well, she was your height, her hair lighter than yours, but otherwise she was very like you. But with impeccable manners, of course.
I bet. What do you think of my hair clip?
Very nice. One day I might be able to afford one of those, mademoiselle.
I'm struggling to think what we need to do.
Au revoir.
Au revoir.
I can't remember. Can't remember. Can't remember.
My first Teddy. Never had a boyfriend as loyal as him.
What else have we got? Come on, before I Google it, what can we do?
My old table had seen better days. I was beginning to know how it felt.
What do we do?
The box was carved by my father. It never had a key. The box was one of the few things my father left me. The elephant on the lid was a perfect match to Cochon's. The box was one of the few things my father left. The elephant...
No. You'd think you'd be able to pick it, but you can't. And that key doesn't work. That's a safe key, so that won't work. Can we just force it open with this? No.
It was the beautiful elephant my father had carved.
Is there not? I don't know. Right. Let me have a look. Hang on a minute. Can we go somewhere further than... Can we go somewhere further than our apartment? Can we go this way? We can. Right. So you... That's where she is. Right. I think what I'm going to do is actually go and put a save here. Right. Because we're getting somewhere with this. I'm going to put a save here and we'll come back to it. PanCake stream on... what are these? PanCake, put it off one of these. Because I think I did start streaming ages ago. Just put it over PanCake stream. Right. That's 1, 2, 3. An hour and 23 minutes. So I think I'll carry on, but I'll end the stream here so we can have like a bit of a... Because I'm going to put this on YouTube. It's just going to be too long if I sit down and do a big slog like I did with RimWorld. That'll give me a chance to have a break and everything like that. If you're not following me on Twitch, make sure you do. You get a notification when I go live. And if you're watching all the way to the end on YouTube, well done. Oh, silly. Silly. But thank you very much for watching. I'll see you soon. Tra.